here. Yeah, right. Good evening, good morning, wherever you are at today. Good evening, good afternoon. Free Southern Movement here. Right, we're live, team. This is the best team, right? We have had issues, technical issues. We were supposed to be live on Swaziland Democratic News, but we had issues. So we're going to continue on our platform. So good morning, good evening. I'm not sure what's in Ban's Kasla Pekaya. Sina, two powerful leaders from Free Swaziland Movement. We've got Comrade Sue, our speaker from Canada. Could you kindly greet the Swazi people, please, Comrade?
Sanibonani Mswati lamahle, siyanivusela, and we just like to discuss some of the topics and the issues that are happening in Swaziland at this time. And we would just ask as well that you leave your comments, and that would be great. And we'll just continue from there.
Thank you, Comrade Sue. Thank you so much. Comrade Sue is our speaker for Ifri Swaziland Movement. And our president is not available today. Our treasurer is not available today. You know, there's things that they're committed to, and our chair is not available. But we have somebody else. We have one of our leaders, Pumzile Dlamini, from Australia. She's not gonna show her face because she's busy doing something. But Comrade Pumzile, please greet the Swazi people.
Good morning, Swazi people. It's Pumzile here from Australia, under Swaziland Free Swaziland Movement. Free Swaziland Movement. Yes. I'm one of the freedom fighters.
Amandla, Comrade Pumzile. It's lovely to have you. You know, and now Comrade Susan. Right, we're going to discuss the state capture. That's the title today. State capture is part 2. We did part 1, and it's on our channel. Make sure that you listen to it. It's on Free Swaziland Movement. It's also on YouTube on the voice of the Swazi voice of the people, Comrade Russ's channel. So you will you can listen to it. So what are we going to be talking about today, Mswati? We will be talking about state capture part 2, Shakantu. Who is Shakantu? Shakantu apparently runs Swaziland. It's like they own 50% of the country. Comrade Puzi, have you heard about about Shakantu, the Zambian guy? What do you know about him?
Yeah, I've always heard about him. I have never met him. I have never saw him. I have never seen him physically. But when I hear about him, I always go online and Google what is really this man doing? What is he? Where did he come from? And I saw that, this is a Zambian man who happened to marry one of the Swazi ladies. And he is owning so many businesses in Swaziland. And now and again, he will be taking over one business and another business. So that's all I heard about him. And that he's running so many businesses over there. Most of the businesses back home, they are under him.
Right. So is it because he's married to Polile? Because apparently he's married to Polile Dlamini Shakantu. And we sigesa ikhuluma le ukuthi no umshado wabo is not ukuthi umshado but umshado webusiness. Ngoba Shakantu owns 50%. He owns everything. And kuke kwaba ne-problem ne-Fesbic, the business people baseswatini labangibona who are hugely affected by Shakantu and King Mswati grabbing everything. But sitayishiya kancane zaba Shakantu Mswati njengoba ashilo Comrade Sue. Please, ngicela nisitshele ukuthi Shakantu ngubani? What does Shakantu own? And why does he own what he owns? Why is he in Swaziland? Kwendekani kuShakantu namakhositivi? And ti-70 takhe ngoba ngeva bathi u-owner bo eSwatini mobile, u-owner imbiva, kude la ngaku-owni konke ku-owner nguye. Asenisitshele ukuthi Shakantu ngubani and ukuthi unicinzetela kanganani, especially laba sebenza under yena le Inyathi Construction. Because we don't think ubaphatha kahle bantu ama-employees akhe eSwatini. So indaba eShakantu Maswati sidava ngani ngini efanele nisitshele ukuthi kwendekani eSwatini thina we're abroad and we gather information from different people. So please help us with that information. Thank you, Comrade Pumzile. Comrade Susan, we're going to jump into indaba ye. Just do you want to talk a bit about EGNU? Because we're still, Tina, we're advocating for EGNU. Do you want to talk about that one a bit?
Yes, Mswati lamahle, we are still advocating for EGNU. And GNU processes, we're still undertaking a whole lot of things. We are working behind the scenes. Not everything that we are doing we can absolutely disclose, but just know we are moving forward, and we are advocating for GNU. And there's a lot that you need to know that we cannot disclose at this time, but we are working behind the scenes. So I ask Wegutsi, all we need, Maswatla Matle, is support yenu. Ngoba i-GNU ngiyo lento letasita kwekuthi to break the back, of the Tinkhundla system, so we can achieve democracy, and so that we can all have a say in what happens with the finances of this country. For years, we have been suppressed and are still suppressed by Dinkhundla and by the king of Swaziland, who is an absolute dictator. So we as a movement believe that the government of national unity is the way to go in order to break the backbone of this government of Dinkhundla, which is not helping the Swazi people, but it is helping a particular family and enriching a particular family. We've all seen what is happening in Swaziland. So yes, with your question, my leader, is yes, we are moving forward with the GNU, and yeah.
Thank you, comrade. Thank you, Susan. Thank you so much for kukumbute Mswati nge-GNU. I-government, i-GNU, Phumzile, what's your opinion? What's your take on the government of national unity? Comrade Phumzile.
The government of national unity, really, I've been reading about it where in countries where it has been implemented, and ngiyabona kuyabonakala lokhu is the only entity lengasita kuze sikhululeke, ngoba uma ngabe kuthiwa ngiyo itawuthatha iposition yahulumende, kube ngiyo lebusako uhulumende from hulumende lokhona, is the only way ngiyo lenemandla, ngoba if you can try something else, it's not worldwide recognized, and so the international world won't understand what is it but if we implement the government of national unity, really we will win, and that's the only way we can win this.
Right. Thank you, Comrade Phumzile. Thank you. I think Mswati Senvile, with the government of national, it's a government. The operator obviously different from the Amakosetive because later to Itabaye democracy. Comrade Mteto, welcome back to our live stream. Comrade Mteto, what's your take on the GNU? Because Kulma Jagana GNU, we Nashongati start Kubegas Kulma GNU because we advocated for GNU. If we saw the movement, email in regards to Maswati as Kubega and send the GNU. Just briefly, Comrade Marcus.
Do you hear me, Tim?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
Right. We're having technical issues as usual. We know with Africa, we have issues in load shedding. Our apologies. But Comrade Mtepa will come back and really ask fasha in regards to GNU. Sitawuqhubeka ngisikhulume sitawukhuluma ngetimbo letendekile this week eSwatini. Buganu, sitawukhuluma besitokhuluma ngensango, ngebhizinisi yensango, because kuyavakala ukuthi makhosetive ibhizinisi yensango uvalele eMaswati ukuthi angakhona ukuthengisa insango. And besitokhuluma ngaletinye izinto. So ngifuna sikhulume ngenzaba yamakhosetive, Comrade Susan. Lohambe waya eTurkey. What's your take on this story? And le mali la ispendile and le mvo labathi ubuye nayo, ngiva bathi ubuye nesikole went deal ukuthi kwentiwe another school, Waterford, similar to Waterford. What's the benefit of us having another school yet people cannot afford? Over to you, Comrade Susan.
Hey, comrade, leader, I have a lot to say about this. Okay, he says that he's come back with a deal to build a school by, I guess, the Turkish government, which will be funding a school in Swaziland. My question to him is, why would you not take it in Swaziland? Okay, but spend 200 million to take 100 delegates with him. That's a lot of money. A school wouldn't even cost $1 million to build, a school of that caliber. I don't believe it would cost, it wouldn't cost that much. So Mina, I have to be very critical of this, because my question now as a Swazi is, what exchange was done between Turkey and him with the prime minister there? They must be benefiting from somewhere. They're not just going to put money into the school system without having control of something. You know, where would say he likes to give other nations control of our minerals and our resources. You know, I'm very concerned, and it's very disturbing. That money, he could have, if it was me, I wouldn't have said build a school. I would have said to him, I would have said, okay, if you want to fund us, okay, you can get your name written on a plaque like they do here in North America. You know, who funded this? They would be at the top to give them credit for that. That money should have been taken to the schools we already have in the kingdom, and basically upgrade those schools. You know, there's just so much that could have been done. I think this is absolutely pathetic. We're constantly giving our country to the outside world to get control of our nation. This is our country. And on top of that this is something you don't just go and sign a deal with Turkish people without having legislature come in and voting on what is happening in our country. You know, what he doesn't understand is taxpayers have a say in a nation as to where the money goes. These people that were elected by the Swazi people are our representatives. They represent what we believe and what we want in the country. You can't just leave a country and go and sign a contract with somebody. Are you serious? What kind of leadership is this? It is absolutely pathetic.
Thank you, Comrade. Because what Batilana on this article, I think it's a president. The guy's a president, Dr. Birol again.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
He actually, from the foundation, the Turkish Marif Foundation, represented by this president, the president, I said Turkey. They signed this deal. Bana Polile Shakantu. The Shakantus again. Shakantu Polile. But we let me go back there. In memorandum of understanding. They signed a memorandum of understanding. Memorandum of understanding. Isayinwe nguye Polile Shakantu. Lesithanda ukukhuluma ngaye ukuthi Polile Shakantu Makhosetive na Shakantu, because siphele kumbona man Polile, siphele kumbona everywhere. What is going on with Polile na Shakantu? Ba owner everything. Emaswati ayakhala ngawe Polile Shakantu. Ayakhala nangendvodza yakho le nena ngathi nishadile ngayo. Comrade Sue, thank you so much for that. We're going to come back to it. I don't know, Comrade Pumzile, do you have anything to say, to add on what Comrade Sue has just elaborated on?
Not so far, small, because most of the things should be evidence-based, not like hearsays. So far, I don't have a proper literature reviewed information that I can share.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade. Thank you. Because it's on the article. Yes, Makhosetive left via a Turkey. Comrade, so do you think Leskolwa, the internet, but into the king and his delegation was in Turkey attending this diplomatic forum? Tell us a bit about the forum. What kind of people should have attended this?
Okay, so from the research that I have done, this thing started in 2021. I don't know whether Makhosetive has been attending this every year. I'm not sure, but possibly he has, because when I read, it was not the first time that he's attending this. All right, I am very critical about this. Okay, so the people that should be actually attending this is diplomats and highly intelligent people of government, and so business people should be attending this. Science department, civil society, media personnel should be. Those are the people that this thing is geared towards. So where I come in and be critical of this, Comrade Molly, is why take 100 people on a vacation to basically where it's costing the country 200 million emalangeni, which works out to 15 Canadian million. 15 million Canadian dollars. That's a lot of money. So my question is, why are they taking the caliber of people that were taken to this thing? I saw one of them was Makhosetive's sons. How is he how is he contributing to this? Is okay. The other thing that I read is people who attend this, even students attend this. University students attend. Undergraduate students, graduate students, doctorate students. Is Makosative should be picking the very best of our country to take to this forum and to be able to get feedback back on how we can implement and change our country. They talk about democracy in this place. I don't understand how a dictator like him can go to a forum like this and come back and with still the same mindset. Kwekuthi bonke lokulaswatini gwami nalabantu bami. So to me, I'm very critical because this is about democratic governance, leadership, and diplomacy. Does he have any of those qualities that we've seen? No. Racism and discrimination. He's discriminating against his people, but he gives favor to the Chinese and the Indians. Not that we have anything against those people, but you always put your family first, which is you take care, even in a household, you take care of your family before you take care of the rest of the world. Him as a king is a shepherd. A shepherd is an overseer of people, right? And he should be shepherding his people, putting the kingdom and the nation first before these other people. Okay, and then they talk about development in Africa and empowering women, which is good. So we need to see the empowerment of women. Like recently it was Women's Day. Women need to start speaking up. I'm glad to see here there's a panel of 3 women which are actually addressing issues of Swaziland. No disrespect to our
chair.
Yes, no disrespect to our chair, but it's just that women have always been in the background. So that is good. The other thing, leaders, I just have some notes here is and this is a thing that I want to bring up that I don't know whether Swazis have actually looked at this from this perspective. And I want to bring this out to Mswati is, Mswati, this is a revelation that just came to me. When he goes out to these countries, he is seen as a businessman. This is what I kind of saw is they do not really understand or know that this man is a crook. He takes taxpayers' money and he travels the world and buys all these fancy things at the expense of the taxpayer. The outside world can guarantee you when he goes to Dubai, Turkey, all these countries, Taiwan, they see him as a savvy businessman. They don't know who he really is. So my agenda today is to touch on this topic that this man, he must be exposed for who he is. He is a crook. He is a thief. He is what do you call it?
He's a rapist.
He's all these things that the world, he needs to be exposed for who he is because he is not who he represents himself to be. If those people knew that he was spending 1 billion of taxpayer money for a 3-day event. Literally, the rest of the days that they went was vacation because this event was 3 days.
And can I say something? Sorry, Comrade, can I pitch in? If Comrade Pumzile, you want to pitch in, please do let me know. And Comrade Marcus, I'll come back to you. Thank you for joining us again. I know you're having technical issues. Makositive uhambe nebamba lama Langambule has 7 children. She's actually breastfeeding the 7th one. That's why Akdogila Lakdogi. So her 7. So these people don't really qualify to even be part of the meeting. So by shopping, I think the surgery. I think Langambule must be going for some surgery because Turkey is well known for surgery, and maybe Makositiva is going for a hair transplant or some surgery that because they do, but they even do a matinwabo because Turkey is well known for that. So uhabele labantu labangaka ngemali yemaswati labangadingeki njengoba sachazile comrade Sue bede diploma labantwana bayi7 even umfati the woman lahambe naye lo Langambule asositshele sisi ukuthi boyapi ke wena lapha ngoba really asathi ukuthi boyoyindani and God I don't. Okay, Comrade Marcus, what's your take on Makosadiva's trip to Turkey?
Ngicela nje ukucala ngivusele balalele emakhaya babukele njengoba coordinator angi-introduce-ile umphathi lihlelo. Hey, inkinga lenkulu lento le siyibona kwenteka lapha kagogo eSwatini. Mswati uthatha timali. Kokucala nje le timali leta nangibekisa ngiyidonsa kahle ngiyidonsa. Le timali leta dala Maswati lekuthathako kwehle kunjenjetelo kuyenyuka. Akathunywa umuntu uthi sukele yena akakatholi special invitation kuze ayofika le. Uthi ihambele nje ne-family vacation. Kuna igama bathi ungena uyotichaza ngemjuluko yalabanye bantu.
Tourist.
Uyavakasha uyasightsee kahle kahle. Ngoba one uma udonsa ubuka lapha uthi hambela akakatsheli siva akathunywa ngile siva uthi ihambile nje usesemndeni wakhe wathi hey ngifuna 200 million ngine trip ye-Turkey. Siphambilini sikuvile abasho bathi unekuvakasha aye kubo Las Vegas ayovakasha angenele athenga athi itike ngala mjuluko wala Maswati. Abesathi lapha ukuthi hey sinenkinga tibhedlela lapha atinalutho atinatinsita konke nje kuyadzilika nje bumaye maye nje kunephara kangangane kubhekele nale. Abe nesibinzi-ke Mswati asuke ahambe aye kuphi nange-Turkey. Siyathi ukuthi nakahloma letinsiba temagwalagwala tiyawa lanhloko. Aze asuke nje aye lapha eTurkey. Uhambela uyela naye isejari lapha nakwenda. Phambilini bake basisa letiboya tala batifaka inhloko yavuka yabangaka. Yazi nayivuka le nhloko kwabuyela emva kwabangaka. Loko wakwenda kumbe ngala kubo Russia. Bekasazama ukucitha le mbandla nje. Uma nasasuka le uya nyalo bathi no asayolungisa la nawo lamatinyo ubone nanga ube Angela shaya ngamatinyo ecwabutela ngathi snow. So usuka lapha uhluthi no emngane umngamo uyende iplane vele uthi hoyo mina ngibuya lapha eTurkey lapha bangilungisela amatinyo lapha eTurkey. Sekuthathwa le mali yalesizwe kuyiwe eTurkey uyolungiswa lamatinyo ke uyolungiswa njengoba uyacobetela. But lokugula lalana yabo lo udokotela lutamlapha uyozangena egodzini uvuka tinyawo solo kumatima konke nje kwawo it's messed up. Uthathwa le timali la nalapha e-Central Bank kude le accountability ukuthi hey ukuhlalwe phansi kuthiwa hey bam-advise labo lababukele timali leli tiko letimali bambuze hey yesizo sikhulu phela lawo na uthatha le mali le ayinawuphinza ibuye ngoba imali konke solo lama-investments akhe Mswati nasibuka Mswati usingambeka sithi i-poorly invest imali iyaphuma nje kananzi abangisoyathi uthi utawuhlinya la Maswati le uthatha tonke leti mali ama-tax letinzela leti kufanele ngathi ilungisa lelive uthathwa yona kuthiwe tizumbulu kuhanjwe. Ngitshele nje 200 million that's a lot of money which can change.
Comrade Msefa, sorry interrupt.
Yeah.
The scholar bati oh hold on. International school, I don't know, international blah blah. Well, okay, Turkish international school in the kingdom. Turkish. Why are we having a Turkish school? Turkey, do they have a Swazi international school? Anyway, that's another. Makositive, I'm just asking you the question. I know you're down.
Asesihlolisise kahle le mfundo lekhona kangwana ayinawusita mntwana leya i-useless kakhulu. Bantu sebazubile bendabo curriculars abroad bendiwe curriculars sine solo kubamba lento lenzalo and nyalo Mswati uthini uthi bantwana labo bawafeyilile abafuce bacethe isikole ya baphushe kufuna kufakwe ini ba-indoctrinate kuthiwa nje ungene kufunzwe le-culture nje ngitshele nje kangwane yini engakusita nje kuvunule emahiya nje kulesikhathanyana ngithi nje mina ngivunule emahiya yini le ngibhenefitha yona kude. So ngathi wena kufuna kuvunule emahiya babe bantu bafuna ini bantu bafuna kufunza bafuna lwati bafuna imisebenzi yetandla. Uyathi bekungcono nakwemenye amave kwendiwa siyabona bayakwati bantwana kwenta bo-coding uyayibona kangwane it's a joke umntwana uyaqeda akakhoni kuya ku-university kufuna baye kamakhelwane kuze bawuthola ini imfundo lengathi isicaca labakhe eMswati uyabathatha ayobafaka le emaveni lasecaca batobuya natela batophathana batogcilata lesive sesinetha
Exactly.
sifunde
Thank you,
instead
Comrade
ukuthi
Marcus. Thank you, Comrade Marcus. Comrade Marcus, thank you for that. I just want to go back to Comrade Sue. I'm going to come back to you, leader. Comrade Pumzile. Mawucabanga le international school, Turkish international school, still benefit. So I just want you to think, Turkish international school in the kingdom. How would that benefit Maswati ngoba sinayo Waterford kamhlaba? And mawubuka le mali la spendile in the 3 days, almost almost $1 billion lokuhamba kwakhe, and umnikete ini lo Dr. Bro Agin wakhona kuze akhona ukumendela lesikolo bedidile lesikolo. Will this benefit the Swazis, Comrade Pumzile?
Thank you, Chair. Ngekubuka kwami mina imfundo nje ekhaya in general angeke ayisa-affordeki. Umuntu nje wonke lokangwane lengathi 90% webantu kangwane isikolo abakhona ukusi-afforda, so nalesi lesikhona ngoba sidulile kanti nemali kude. Mase-ke sekulethwa-ke lebo international school ke lapho kuze kuphinde kuba inhloko ngoba ngeke bakhona abantu ukufaka abantwana kulama international school kude imali. Kude imali tekubafaka khona nje kuleti ikolwa leti lama public school lokuthiwa akutop up imali khona. Bantwana bagcwele emakhaya abafundi. Bantwana bagcwele emakhaya bayadibulala. Bantwana bacedzile university abasebenzi. Bantwana bacedzile high school abangena emanyuvesi. Vele le mfundo ifile. Ezike lama international school ekudula kangaka ungathi khona lapha ekhaya umuntu lo lapha kangwane akakhoni ukufaka umntwana lapha eWaterford, akakhoni ukufaka
Yeah,
sekulesi lesi sitawakhiwa nyalo sitawungena bobani laba bantu abeMaswati lebatawukhona kuyi-afforda le mfundo leyo. Nalokuthi itabasita kuphi ngoba nyalo nje masikhuluma mawufunza kangwane kude motivation ukuthi ufundzela ini. Utawufika ka form 5 utabe siwendana ngoba inyuvesi kude. Graduate enyuvesi utabe siwendana ngoba imisebenzi kude. Le ndzaba yetemfundo beyifanele ukuthi i-revise nje le khona iyakhona yini kusisita thina eMaswati ngoba phela we are Swazis into letiningi kufanele benefit thina bantu bakhona. Mawuthi wakha international school wakhela labanye bantu thina kusho ngeke kusite endzawo akusite.
Ngiyabonga, Comrade. Thank you, Comrade Pumzile. Back to you, Comrade Susan, then I'll go back to you, Comrade Marcus.
Really, what I wanted to say was exactly what Pumzile said. It's like she took the words out of my mouth, because the problem is, like she's saying, is Swazis can't afford a basic education. How are they going to afford this new Turkey International School? We already have Waterford. Most people in Swaziland cannot afford Waterford. So how is that benefiting the country? Yabo, again, this man does not think of Swazis. I don't. There is nothing upstairs. What for a degree from Botswana in political science? This man has no degree. He can't. But the one thing I wanted to touch on, leader, was, he went there. And he might decide to do something about it. He went there and he spent that money. Now, is he going to come back? Because the other years he's been, I don't believe that he has come back with a report. This time, this is how your money, Swazi people, benefited you. You should be coming back with a report to tell us what took place. Tell us, how you developing Swaziland, how you helping the Swazi people with our tax money. It's not about your vacation. We've had enough of you and your vacations. Anyway, that's that.
And then thank you, Comrade, because he takes langambule una 7 webantwana, and bathi umntwana amunye uthola 1 million. Usengabali bathi ucele indlu, ucele simakhositive amakhele another house because abantwana abaningi. Umntwana amunye uthola 1 million, which means langambule lo sisi lo make lo nonenhlitiyo lembi bekahambe nayo, uthola 7 million. This year uthola 7 million because it's 1 million per child. Plus obviously my incentives lathi tell about, you know, like medical aid, you know, but nekudla and everything. So le vacation yakhe lena uhambe na 7 nobangani wahamba nabakhe laba qualify nokuthi bangene kulama meetings laba kawahambele. Iningi lemvu lentwa ngama-consultative and Mswati ahleli ayamyekela. Aphinde ubuyile namuhla usebuganwini labo make bebabgida laba baka Swazi Bank. Okay, asibuyele kuwe phinde comrade Mtefa nje uyithi fahla sivale I mean siyekele le topic lena singenele lamanye ama topics esinawo. Ugcina nje kulendzaba lena Mthetho.
Hey, le ndvodza leyo iluhlata kakhulu lena. Iluhlata, uyathi ukuthi le nto lena uyithatha kuphi? Lelokubulala lemfundo, lituko lemfundo le. Uyithathile lapha le meeting yakhe na Emerson Mnangagwa. Emerson Mnangagwa uyimoshile iZimbabwe in such a way ukuthi ama-graduates e-university bababida bathi beyani into before bagraduate bababida bathi beyani into graduate because i-university ayinamali yekumxhasa nichubeke. Babanika bahleli nako umhlobiso lemakhaya. Namswati uphusha lento le ngcondo leyo. Akasiyo indula buchopho Mswati. Mswati ucabangela yena nemndeni wakhe. Sinebantu
Asophindele igama lelo comrade akasiyo ini ma-consultative bathi awusiyo ini
indula buchopho. Umuntu ucabanga kakhulu philosophical akarizili nje. Umuntu lovela avuke nje atendele Mswati. Into letendeka lapha kakhulu. Uyibulele imfundo ukuthi bantwana nawuthi uyeva uvuke ekuseni uve bathi umntwana wende njani udle poison. Umntwana akathi ukuthi utawuphila ngani anzi utshele ukuthi imfundo isikhali isisekelo. Se uma bona bonza ngayakhe baya esikolweni. Ilungelo lemntwana ukuthi aye esikolweni. Uma sewumusa lelo lungelo lelo. Nasithi thina sifuna i-free education ngangona. Sisho lokho kuliqiniso sifuna ibe khona ngoba i-tax iyabhadalwa lentsela. Umntwana nakehla nje athi icathathayo akhelwa certificate uyahola. Uholela ukuthi kunetimali etiphuma eNgilandi Maswati.
Yabona comrade, that's a very yabona you're so that's a strong point. Lenza by certificate.
Kunemali ephumayo eqhamuka le eNgilandi kuthiwe nayi isita yemntwana le. Ne akuvisiseki kahle ukuthi le mfundo kwathiwa kwaliwelani imfundo yamahhala. Sinema-OVCs tinzanzana. Labantwana labafuna bathole ini? Imfundo yamahhala. Le mali yophuma iyanikwa ngiyo le mali le bese seyithathwe le mali lena yokugcoka ukuthi impahla tekudula. Uthathwa le mali ilungelo labo nasithi thina kubantwana kufuna usukumele kulwele le lungelo labantwana. Umntwana ufuna esikolweni. Awukho umntwana agcwala isigaba ukuthi akakhoni kuya esikolweni. Le tikolo kumananga college le sekuba ka-Waterford kaMhlaba. Tikolo tele tinjinga leti. Namswati na uyakwati lokho. Sethina
So comrade Mtefa, so which means Makosative, the Turkish international school. It doesn't make sense because this is Turkish, it's not Swaziland. And my question was, Turkey, do we have a Swazi school in Turkey? Makosative, you dumb brain. No, we don't. Comrade, I want to take you back, Comrade Mtefa, Zimbabwe. What's happened to Zimbabwe? I want to just, what's happened with my sanctions in Zimbabwe this week? Something happened.
My sanctions, they were going to enforce it at severe. Ngoba Emerson Mnangagwa unengane. Bantu yabahlukubeta abantu bayabulala.
So which means ngaba mnanzi ukuthi nathi sipushe lama sanctions ma-Constitutive. Unfortunately, we had people who said no, but we're going to work on that one. Comrade Marcus, we've lost him. He's going to come back again. Comrade Phumzile, I know ngishilo ngase siyayivala le ndzaba lena yekufundza. Comrade Phumzile, ngifuna ukuthi indzaba yeSinathi. Sinathi sinayo influence in regards to education, really, because mawubuka it's like ma-Constitutive udala khangaka. Angathi noma ngayiphendula. Mama khona ukuyiphendula leader stayishiya.
Ngiyabonga vele mina leya yasemfundo ngilapho ngifa khona kakhulu lapha eKangwane. Ngifa kakhulu ngoba sisakhuluma nge-free education nje-ke sisakhala kwangazuthi nabothishela bakho khona kulokubulala lemfundo ngoba i-head teacher, the whole principal lonema-degree lengingawazi ukuthi mangaphi avale igede lesikolo ukuthi bantwana bangangeni uma bangakabhadali kubethu umntwana ngiyiphi le system la introduce-ako kule live ngiyiphi le system la advocate-elako kule live advocate-ela kubantu babe ngilabafundi bonke noma kube ngilabangakafundi bonke ngoba lapha hayi ukuthi sibanjwe yini ukuthi singatholi free education ngibo bangafuni ukuthi kube ne-free education ngani ngoba bothishela badla le mali lapha esikolweni ezibadla imali esikolweni bayathi ukuthi kudele sebatakudla uma kuthiwa kune-free education ngoba lela kuhamba imali khona kuyoba ne-accountability so bafuna kuthatha le mali yethu sinetilimi account zawo bayithatha bayifake emabhange batidlele kuphela umnyaka baphinde bakweleke lenye emegedeni thishela athi bantwana bangethi labangakabhadali unesibindi sekubantwana bangabhadali. On the other hand, advocate ukuthi bantwana abafundi umhlaba wonke bantwana kufanele babe nelungelo lekufunda kuthishela as I speak today noma egedeni lesikole lokuthi bantwana kude umntwana lo tawungena angakabhadali. It doesn't matter ukuthi ude umntali noma unaye kuthiwa nje akaphume esikolweni angafundi. Kulukhuni bantwana bahlele emakhaya bagcine ka standard 5. A high percentage of kids lapha kangwane bahlele emakhaya bagcina la primary mase kufanele baye high school kuna head teacher lone degree lo wafunza angathi ukuthi ngabe i-welfare yemntwana iyafundiswa yini khona le tisheleni lala kufundwa khona ngabe le sociology kuyafundwa yini le khona nababotishela ngoba the whole community favor kufanele kube ngabe nguyelo favor i-community keja uyayibulala ushiya ayibulele kunebantwana aba-illiterate ngenzaba yakhe kunebantwana lesebafile ngenzaba yakhe itolo lokhu nje bekungcwatshwa lapha ingayivulele loxoshwe nge-head teacher esikolweni ukuthi akaphume ngoba kabhadali uthi akaphume ngoba kabhadali njengoba uyathi ukuthi lo mntwana kude le mali not ukuthi bayiphethe batali they are willing to pay but they don't have money kude imali la kule live kude le mali ngeja njengaloku kude le mali nemfundo kungafundi ibo head teacher lebabambe i-free education I still stand firm ngoba ngisho noma kungakhulunywa lapha kuthiwe hayi botishela bavumeleni bantwana bangene esikolweni they will never take that bathi kukhona imali eshoda kukhona imali eshoda kwesikole sisaraneki imali lesikole siyirana kuphi le mali ngiphi le show leseyaba 1 million ngiphi lamaphepha ngoba liphepha is the cheapest thing in the world liphepha nje i-A4 nje ukuthi uyayiprinta noma wendani ishiphe kokwenza ngeja sikola ukhanze ukuthi asene-500 webantwana umntwana amunye kufanele awe nga-10,000 nje mativulwa tikolo malini lele kwele kwakule sikolo leso-ke yendani yini lele ekusebentako le mali lokungaka ngoba pha bothishela baholelwa ikolo baholelwa nguhulumende baholelwa ngithi labothishela le kuphe le mali ye-school fees yendani lokungaka bayatidlela that's all.
Yes,
isibulawa bothishela thina nge-free education kangwane asibulawa lo hulumende nje ngiyambona naye ukhona kulokuningi kesha kakhulu kunayibhodi yasinathi leli phethe bothishela ngathi abekho la kusinathi babane kwabo ngabo-ke lele bafuna kudla naba base-high school nje nabase-primary nabo ngive bathi sebathi top up imali lethithe 1.5 ngeminyaka wonke umntwana lapha e-primary lala kuthiwa i-free education kuthiwa up enyanga ngoba babona sabasadli lutho phela kangwane uma kuthiwa uyaphronyothwa ungu-head teacher kusho uyela ukuthi uyokudla wena usothi uphila kahle uphile ngale mali yalabatali labayikhipha it's so sad.
You comrade wazi wakhuluma imvo lemco cause
bangakafundi
yo comrade wazi wakhuluma imvo lemco kakhulu cause ngibuka lesinathi so cause ngibase ngiyasibuka lesinathi I'm like no the problem ila labo head teacher cause angeke umfana atibulale ngoba ude ma fees angeke siqhubeke sibhadale ma fees njengoba usho uthi leader sinathi sibhadala imali ye tax but I doubt that one ukuthi it's not, I think le mali yabuthishela yethu lele bhadalwako yabuthishela ithapha kulaba bantwana besikolo. Comrade Susan, you want to add something?
I have my own personal views regarding that, but I've never heard like what Pumzile is saying about their school fees. I've never heard of it that way. It's something I'm going to have to think about with regards to the money being taken by the teachers. I don't know that because I don't know. I've never heard it, but I respect her view. I never saw it that way, but it's possible. But in when a comrade or leader is lenvo yalo mfana lega commit suicide because akakhoni kuya esikolweni is this should be a huge alarm bell to the government of Swaziland. Kwekuthi something has to change because what this child did is she needed attention. Swaziland needs to have free education. This is how important education is to some children. You know what I mean? Is and I'm not going to blame the teachers like Bosnat. What I would say, is looking from an outside perspective, is the problem is not SNAT. The problem is the government. The fact that education in Swaziland is not free. It must be free. We cannot have 14-year-old children committing suicide because they cannot go to school. That's a crime. That alone is a crime against humanity. These parents, if it was in the first world nation, these parents could sue the government.
Wow. That's a banger. That's a big one. I like that.
So that's a huge alarm for Makosative. Is, do you understand God is showing you the severity of what you are doing? You take 200 million and you go on a trip, but Swazi children are weeping and killing themselves because they can't get an education. But your children, of course, you can afford to take them everywhere in the world. Start thinking of other people for a change. Nigo sigufuna gone. Asisagufuni.
Thank you. Makosative uyadivela asikufuni nabo Russell nawe wena Thuli Dladla lapho nawe wena Pholile na Shakantu nabo bonke boKhasaru labadla imali tefu nabo bonke labahleli namaKhosative asisanifuni nawe isikhanyiso lapho nawe isicalo nawe majaha nini nonke nalabafati labaningi lankambulu uhambe na 7 million uthola 7 million ngoba unitele 7 webambani and kunemfana walankambule lo watala ede emehlo apparently basibamfaka emehlo ase-India. So ngifuna ukuthi niyibuke lento lena ukuthi malini ukuthi bathathe batransfere emehlo bawafake kulomunye emehlo le operation yekuthenga lamehlo nalama test lendiwa kuze lo mfana lankambule athole emehlo. Lankambule is the richest kulabafati. I think uthola more money and she makes sure we are keep it. Unemba, I think she's got 2 mama siblings and they benefit from that money. Labafana by 7 bondla the family yakhe as well. So sibulawa kunala bafati because fanele siyibuke Comrade Phumzile lelenza bayabafati bamaKhosative because thina bafati ngithi lesakhalive uma ungitshela ukuthi lankambulu uthola 7 million la for Guyana utele west 3 umphala uthola 3 million west 3 laba ke labanye batele nabo bamphana. So uma ubuka labafati bamaKhosative ningathini kulabafati ngoba kahle kahle asibulawa amaKhosative kuphela lemvo lena ngidawuphinza ngibuye kulenza baye ukuthi bo head teacher nibo labathola le mali because I know Comrade Phumzile knows about ukuthi bo teacher head teacher sibulawa SNAT kahle kahle ngiyakuvumela lokho but we need to investigate on that one. SNAT, we need to find out ukuthi nine nibangelwa yini ukuthi niyekele nje abafana babhalela incwadi because lo mfana ubhala incwadi wacommit suicide. A young girl wrote a letter. I'm ending my life because I cannot pay my fees. And Makosative, the king of Swaziland, was in Turkey with the woman who's earning 7 million per year because he's able to pop children. And Mswati, they're only allowed to have 3 children now. They can't even afford them. There's a lot going on in Swaziland. Comrade Phumzile, nayo le ndaba yakasinathi lo ithinzile siyabonga Comrade ukuthi uyithinze leyo. I don't know ukuthi bengithinteni Comrade Phumzile, maybe you want to take over. Sengikhohliwe khona bengikubude kona.
Mm. Mm.
But anyway, we'll go back to that one. So, Comrade Susan, you've just nailed it. That is against my human rights. Maswati, they need to look into that. Snat. Okay, sawungena sikhuluma indaba ye-budget. Angathi noma siyibukile indaba ye-budget, Comrade Suna, Comrade Phumzile. Kuthi kube nendaba ye-budget. I think kube nathiwa abo-MP labakhulumile basukuma bathi no, angeke siyisayine kune-conference kune-international ICC angathi basiyi-fish leyaqala kadzeni so lona namhla naloko ayikacedwa ngifuna ukuthi siphawule leaders in regards to lenzaba ye-ICC bathi yi-International Convention Center bathi ineminyaka solo yaqalwa. What's your take, Comrade Sue, on this thing? Last week, I think, I'm not sure whether last week the MP last week stood against it, but I know ukuthi kuna Menzizwane wakalobamba, a member of parliament who's critical about this issue. Comrade Sue, what's your take on the budget, the ICC billions that have to be spent?
Last video, I have to give her credit. She spoke up about it. There was a video that was trending on Facebook. She spoke up about it. And Lozwane spoke about it. I have to say, now that's what legislation is about. You know, you can't just pass every budget that Makositive wants. It must be stopped by the legislature. So again, this is where our chairperson ngale Swati kwekuthi Makositive akathi kahle la nhlobo. Yeah. The reason is you cannot. Why didn't they finish this project when it was 400 million? Now it's going to cost the country 8 billion.
8 billion.
And again, it's this thing that he wants to impress people. He has this mindset of the bigger, the better. He's competing with the Dubais and competing with the, I don't know, all these countries that have these massive things where he travels to and they live this luxurious life. Those people are businessmen. He is not. He has portrayed himself as a tycoon amongst the world stage, but he is not. This man is an embezzler of the Swazi people. He is using Swazi taxpayers' money. I pray this goes viral. He is demanding and asking for 8 billion to finish a hotel. That's just going to be an impressive thing. Now, I think Kweguchi, the legislature needs to stop this. Swaziland has critical issues right now. Critical. Obviously, we all know one of the two main ones right now is focusing on education and the healthcare system. The average Swazi's lifespan, when I looked at, it's been a while, I saw was 45 years old. Do you know why it's so low? And in Canada, it's 80 minimum. Do you know why it's so low? It's because of the healthcare system. That goes to show you how poor our healthcare system is. And God will count Makositive accountable for the lifespan in Swaziland. For this child that committed suicide, he's going to be responsible.
Right. Comrade Sue, because these were his Comrade Sue and Comrade Phumzile. This is what the article said. Balwe Swaziland News really Martin. But utite lo MP Menzizwane. Utite, I would rather be the only MP who will not approve this budget. We can't have a project that was supposed to cost less than 400 million, costing 8 billion. That's what he said. And bravo, well done. This is what we're talking about. Una equally fighting from within.
And Yelida, Angithi Makositive went to the United Nations and he said in Swaziland we have democracy. How can an MP now be risking his life to talk about a situation which is a real concern to the people? It just goes to show that there is no democracy. Other MPs, elected MPs, are in prison. This one is going to fear for his life. right? Others are in exile. And you telling us that there's democracy? This is democracy where people are able to express their thoughts, feelings without fear or favor. This is despicable. You know, I pray that more MPs stand against this because this should not be happening in 2023 in the 21st century. This is barbaric.
No, it is crazy. 2024.
I mean,
We've had,
24, Mike.
yeah, we have a person who flies out and spends billions. More than seven, and 8 plus obviously private jet. And then you got young kids who are writing letters, committing suicide and saying, I
Suicide.
cannot go on. I don't have food. I don't have uniform. I don't have money to pay fees. So, Makositive, Sue has said God will hold you accountable. Okay, that's perfectly fine. I really would like Mswati to hold Makositive accountable. God will do it. Plus Swazis, you need to hold Makositive accountable. Russell Dlamini, the new prime minister, you must be held accountable for what's happening. Deputy Prime Minister Thuli Dladla, you must be. Mswati, you need to hold these individuals accountable. Namhla sibonile nebhgani, sitawubuya sikhulume ebhgani ukuthi how much are they spending ebhganini? You know, you're looking at how the guy is splashing. Soon kutabe some other event. There's event after event, yet the healthcare system is gone.
Yeah, leader, yeah, leader. You know, this thing has it goes on every year. It's not even about flights anymore and all this stuff. The man is consistently buying. He just bought a fleet of Ferraris. Not long ago, he bought a fleet of motorbikes. Not long ago, he paid 66 million for Maybachs for his wives. Then 100 million for Rolls Royce. Like
When does he stop?
when does he stop? This is pathetic. And then 50 million spent on different things. I heard Gwegusa, somebody did the math and said this man has spent 1 billion in 2 weeks. Because now they're going to be reconstructing his palaces.
The palace.
160 million.
Exactly. We're going to go to that article. Comrade Pumzile, what's your take on the ICC, the international, I don't know what international, because he seems to go international. Look, this foolish king just went to Turkey. And the only thing, he spent a lot of money and then he got a deal from a charity foundation from some Turkish president that, oh no, we're going to build an international school for who we don't understand. And then now he wants an international conference, the ICC. Comrade Pumzile, what's your take on this expenditure, this money just being thrown on in water, the ICC Convention Center? What is it? How is it going to benefit Swazis? How?
Hey, le ndzaba lena
Hey,
yaleli hotela leli lingapheli.
hey.
Ngoba
And leaders, there was a woman, an MP, who said, sorry, comment.
Leli hotela ayisinto libenefitha eMaswati mangabe kukhona nje lo hotela lelakhiwe abantu ababenefitha indzawo nakhona i-tourism yalapha ekhaya angiyikhanzi isengile njengaleya yakadzeni ukuthi isakhanga abantu ukuthi funa kuye eSwatini
Yes.
ukuthi sengingaze kumoshwe imali lengaka kwakhiwe le hotela.
Yes.
Kube fanele mali iyakha isibhedlela, imali yakha inyuvesi lengekho ngoba inyuvesi ifile akusiyo inyuvesi leya. Inangabe you are coming from another country, you go in there, and then they say this is University of Swaziland. You feel like crying.
You know, she really hit the nail on the head.
Ngabe that's investing to the investela eMaswati. Kepha le ndaba yale convention center naleli hotela kude lapho liSwati ngalinye lalapho litawubenefitha khona kude.
Maye waze wayishaya ke Phumzile ngale ndzaba ye-tourism.
Go ahead. Comrade Pumzile, sawuqedile or ufuna uku-add?
Yeah, kwanyalo sengiphozile
Go ahead, Comrade Susan.
I was just saying to Phumzile, waze wayishaya indzaba ye-tourism, because who is going to come into the country? You Google Swaziland, what do you see right now is It's corruption. Not only that, is there's no economical stability. The country is crying. Who would want to go to a country like that and visit? Tourism ifile. So
But
Jani, put the hotel on hold for now and focus on what's important right now. Uqinisile Phumzile, 100%.
I know she just said something. She just really nailed it in regards to ukuthi kunokuthi makhosetive uthwele tibunu nenhloko nelibatha lakhe nemgqombo wahamba waya eTurkey walengisa lembo lakhe la ngaphasi wabula wayogibela tindiza ngathi ngeke agqoke libhuluko phela makhosetive kuyashisa uyaphothuka la ngaphasi uyahamba uya eTurkey ufuna ucela kusipakhe an international school Turkish international school instead of lembo la isho kophumze instead of him ukuthi abuke the University of Swaziland and make sure siyasebenza and a revive it. Oh my gosh, this is mad. Makositiva, I think you are no. I don't know what you are. You need to tell Emma Swat who's Makositiva uyini when they got now there's a problem.
Leader, are we going to touch on the issue about the 160 million for palaces?
Oh, definitely. We're moving to that one. Okay, let's move on to that one. My article, leaders. I'm just gonna like go proof on that one. My expenditures. I'm sorry. Oh my God, this is what the article said. Finance Minister's budget speech: 160 million to renovate King Mswati's palaces. Mbabane King Mswati III without pull up 160 million from public funds to renovate palace yake amadipi galozita. This is contained in. So what's your take, guys? He's gonna get 160 million. Team, ladies and gentlemen.
My question, my thing here, leader, is again, this is very, very sad. Very, very, very sad. You know, it's heartbreaking, to be quite frank with you. We're at a stage where this man has to come out of power. He absolutely has. The country economically is plummeting, severely, actually. Why does his palace or palaces, because I read it said palaces, need 160 million when the hospital has nothing? There was a time last year when it was raining. There was no water in a hospital. They had to get the rain outside. People don't have Panado in the hospital, but they are taking 160 million of taxpayers' money to renovate a man who lives in gold.
Mswati, they really need to wake up. They really have to do something. Comrade.
This needs to be stopped again by the legislative, by the members of parliament. It must be stopped. It really must.
But so far we've got two only spoken against the ICC project. Comrade Phumzile, what's your take on King Mswati's 160 million renovation? I don't know.
Budget.
What do you say about that?
I'm so surprised. Le mali from such a small country. Lelite imiholo yebantu ngoba le mali iningi kakhulu lena beyingafakwa lapha emiholweni bantu baholelwe kucashwe bantu kusenjetwe basebenze bantu kunama-graduate langakasebenzi lasolwa-graduate abo-5 years bazange sebacashwe and isizathu sethi bangacashwa kulokuthi kude le mali le fanele iqhamuke khona abantu bahole kude emaholo ngiko abantu bangacashwa hhayi ukuthi kude ema-post imisebenzi ikhona ikhalati ikhona abantu bayafa bayapenishelwa kesha kude lo ba-replace munye vele usasele asaphila nale bekavele asebenza le mali yoku-renovate lama-palaces nkosi yami kube ifakwa lapha esiveni ukuthi sichubekele sive kusenjetwe kuphilwe nje normal ngoba lama-palaces aba-benefit lutho keja-ke bengikukhalako futhi nakithi thina lekangwane lokungathi noma nekungaconzi intfo kungiko lokusibulele kakhulu bantu labangaka bathele tipho bamikisa kangwane balambile labantu balezi ngoba kunebantu abalambile emakhaya. Makhelwane wakhe bekuthengiswa imali impuphu yekubonza aliphalishi namuhla. Kepha uvuka ekuseni uthwele elibhakede umgqoma umikisa kangwane. Naba ngiyababona la bafake amahiyala blue bafake bathwele tipho bamikisa la.
Sorry, Comrade Prumzi. Ngile genge lesebenzako phela ngathi Mswati ukhiphe sinanatelo ukuthi wonke umuntu osebenza ngathi boSwazi Bank le ex wife ya Mrs Zulu uyibonile igitha lapha wabona na bonke ngathi kunemvo lekuthiwa ngathi Mswati ukhiphe umthetho wekuthi labantu abasebenzela bo government they need to go there labafati. I mean bengingathi ukuthi ibuganu iculture yamaswati ngikhani ngikuva nyalo since icalele since Makhosi King Mswati killed a lot of people baphela since silwa lenza baye democracy ukuthi kunelisiko labasiye bugani. I mean I don't know bengingakwati ukuthi lembo imcwa kangaka even the ex-wife ya King yazwelithi babetala wakhe ngizwelithini ugita naye uwenta into yebulima labo make. Oh God.
Angithi he's doing it, leader, for social media, for people to see how they love their king. Gani, these people are forced to attend these things. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them are forced to attend this. This is dictatorship.
Thank you, Comrade Marcus. Sikhuluma indaba ya 160 million to renovate Makhosi palaces. Why? See the drugs in hospital. See the bambana they're committing suicide because they don't have fees. Makhosi just finished flying to Turkey. He just bought a new Mercedes Benz with his logo, with his Banamawake palaces. How is that going to benefit the Swazis? How many people live in the palace? Is that a tourist attraction area? What's going on? Comrade Marcus.
Yes. Hey, lento le inkinga lenkulu lena. Ngiya manje ngingayikhona ukuyicakatha. Lo muntu udlala ngebanga lesizwe. Lo mfowati lona Comrade lengakutshela kona uthola imali lenganga 11 billion. Bathi bamncephetelisa kusathi kumele improve lesimo se-economy la kule live. Athathe imali adlale ngayo. Uhambe kuyohosta bugani. Ngitshele nje logic uma sewudula nje uhlala phansi uyibuka uthi wena abantu bakhona balambile bete njani batonatha badzakwe nabasuka badzakwa bacale bente lemikhiba lebheke eceleni la kwentiwa khona lo msimeto ekulalana ngoba loya Goliath labusa ngalo lelive udzinga ukuthatha tonke letinto temandla ebumnyama agcunge letingcondo talabantu. Lo muntu uyabaloya kokucala nje wani kuna nanga umntwana nanga bathi ngo-Oros lapha lwabulawa uthatha kuvangelwe ngayo lapha khona ukuthi abantu babetiyinga ubabona labantu bagida hayi ukuthi bagida injabulo akunanjabulo kule nto leya laba bagciletekile bagcilateke ngekomcondvo bagcilate nasenyameni lo muntu walimete letingcondo ngoba kula khona
you talking about Mrs. Zulu's ex-wife. She's apparently she's got maybe 5 women masters, that woman. And here she was, Upumile Wavunula. What is she teaching the Swazi women?
Asekuqale lapho ukuthi aze ayofika lapha ufike njani. Loya mfati loya when Mrs. Zulu wende sakubuthelwa loya mfati loya kwathiwa wena hamba uyongena lapha. Ukungeniswa ngani lo Professor Lydia Makhubu unebudlelwane naMswati lobuthide nolobusashonile unebudlelwane lobuthide kuthiwe wena hamba lapha uyongeniswa lo ntombazane loya abethandwa ngumanvombi ngingako lo mshado le relationship beyitindile ngani ngoba manvombi bekamthanza awuzange nje kwaba ne-special connection loya utithanzela impilo yakhe lebheke eceleni leyatiwa ukubona lapha lefihlakeni ngingako nje uze uyotholakala uyahlala lapha inkonzo yasekamerweni kude abengekho nje ngingako nje agcina sithi hey loya mfati loya ngisamdzingi lapha akasuke lo muntu Angimathi yebo kona kuthiwa watholakala sambatha ingubo naleya bodyguard, but kahle kahle lobudlelwane bakhona kona kwakungekho ukuthi ngiyakuthanza buya usista ovusa likhaya lababe, akungekho nje into lehlanganisiwe
It's a
yakhiwe
business thing. It's a
njengokuya
business.
lokho.
Njengaleya Shakantu. So
Yes.
Eswatini sinawo Eswatini nama-habits. Eswatini akuhlukile nama-Muslims kuyenziswana, in other words.
Ya
If we just
wafuthwa lapha wathatha wayobeka mngani. Nafika lapha uhleli uthi ngiyokwendani ngizokwenza mina ngathi uthi nangumfati phela ngifuna ngenze. Akula nkonzo yaseCameroon uhleli nje lapha. Yinto yokuthi kwendiwe nje lapha kubukwa leti imali. Uto-protector ama-interest amswati, hhayi ukuthi udele kutowenza utovusa ekhaya laseNatali. Udenge ekuthini ufuciwe lapha. Kungako mawakhe nasasukile lapha. Wathi lona hey, angisamdzingi lo muntu lo, mtsheleni ukuthi ahambe. Lokhu sebamnika lo mfati welishangane la ahleli naye. And nabo la bantu abantu betile bahlala lona vele isiketi akazange asithande. Umuntu lothi ithanzela lapha ebumnyameni nani nani silapha ebumnyameni msikushiwo. Uyayibona nawe sowungacabangela mphathi buhleli. Akuzange
kahle kahle there's a lot emaswati labangakunaki lokwentekako eSwatini. Anyway, comrade, besikhuluma lezaba yama-palaces. So lama-palaces without benefita njani lama-palace? Maswati, how will they benefit from Makosative's budget palaces?
kude nje lapha kudlalwa ngemicitho leti imali temaswati lapha. Lo muntu ngitshele lamaphalisi lahamba ngayo lahlala kuwo lapha. Nabana banu uyahalela ukuthi ngane Nkosi yami ngaya ngiyohlala lapha. Senakuthiwa kuya-renovate ukopa kunayo into le yentiwa bozuma ngala yayibona. Lokuthi ufuna ungathini ngitshele nje bani balambile sive silambile wena usafuna konjinja sihlalo se-toilet indlu yangasese ufuna sibe igolide. Kusho ukuthini lento la ubona ukuthi umcondo wafaro lo. Lo ufuna yonke into yakhe uneke kumagolide ebudlala. Sibe silambile. Sibe sikolela timbungane emlonyeni. Kubuhlungu lento lokuthi njalo amagwava asaphelile bantwana bemaswati batabe badlala. Lento le ayendi ligusha kude kushile konke emasimini batawudlala abantu.
So okay,
Emangozi asandlulile.
Thank you, Comrade Marcus. Thank you, Comrade Marcus. Asesingene nayizaba evictions of people in their native lands, value of land in Swaziland, and leasing of land, which must be taken in, what's your take on that, Comrade?
Emaswati kufuna avule lengcondo nasisho la. Umhlaba newawe emaswati. Umhlaba uzange ube wamakhosi. Umhlaba inkosi ngebantu. Mswati akanamhlaba. Uma Mswati akhipha abantu kunemithetho lafanele awulandzele ukuthi ngokukhipha wena ngiyokubeka le. Emaveni siyesibone uma mina ngilokhu utongisusa mina. Uyayokukalwe ngemameter. Kuthiwe 1 million imeter, 1 million imeter. But yena usebenzisa amandla engwenya. Afike athele lana ngizayifika emasosha kuthiwe phumani nenihamba. Ababhadalwa labantu. Yena buka la kubonakala khona ukuthi usilima kakhulu akakhona ukucabanga. Uthatha umhlaba athengisele nawe eMandiya. Ngelinani leliphasi kakhulu athi yena ukudala emathuba emisebenzi. Mandiya ahlukubeteka abantu lapha. Konke leti vele labase-Taiwan bahlukubeta lamaswati. Athathe emaswati umhlaba awunikete awutshela ukuthi hey la ubone nje lokwendekele umafucula. Wafike babatshela ukuthi yini ithi inkosi ningasalimi la. Lo mhlaba sowuthengisile. Wehla wabuya lapha eVuvulani wathi lapha hey inkosi ithini akusaluka kuyemiwa konke lo umhlaba sowuthengisile. Akati ukuthi umhlaba uneveni. Hayi ukuthi akati wenta bubi ngoba emave eNgilandi nawufika nje eNgilandi they will never sell you land, they will lease you land. Kusho ukuthi uyawurenta lo mhlaba kuwusebenzisa. Lona ngebulima ufika unikete labantu abanikete lama-Arab athi nangumhlaba bayathi babutana bithana ngabomzala babathi hey kunemhlaba lokushayile le. Kuwakhipha lama-Arab lapha setaba insumansumane yethu ngoba one abanikwa ini unika umhalo kuthiwe nawo labantu labanikati balomhlaba abanama compensation abancephedeliswa kuthiwa subani umhlaba wenkosi.
Yeah,
Yilento le
yeah.
yenza
Thank you, comrade. We're going to move a bit quicker. Thank you for talking in regards to the land issue, Swazi. And I like the fact that you just said, I think Mswati need to really look into that. We're going to touch base on this again, comrade Marcus, comrade Susan, and comrade Pumzi. Comrade Pumzi, do you have anything to say in regards to the land issue in Swaziland?
Yeah, I can have a little to say in the land issues, but one thing that I noticed khona lapha ekhaya mayelana nalendaba yemhlaba nakho konke sekunengivelelo lokungahambi kahle mayelana ukuthi lo mhlaba awusasiwo walabanikati bawo sewebantu senibona nje sekunemuntu sowukhona sowuniphethe noma-ke sowuyakha anikatshelwa nini le ukuthi kwentelwani khona into le-propose-wako nani into ne-interest ukuthi awu lapha nathi sine-interest nathi singenta nathi encenye besingakhona ngoba how do you give umuntu umhlaba ukuthi akakhe i-complex encenye khona luswati belingakhona kwakha noma umuntu wenzawo bekangakhona kwakha yini kungakhona opportunities sekunokuthi kuvele nje kuqhamuke umuntu wangaphandle so ubeka sakhiwo sakhe lesikhulu bantu benzawo sebaphumela eceleni bayasala abasabalwa.
Yeah, thank you, comrade. Thank you, comrade Pumzile, on that one. Kunenkinga vele yemhlaba and fanele ilungise le ndaba yemhlaba and fanele ilungise ngowe Maswati. Sitawugijima phinde sikhulume sitawukhuluma kancane sithi fahla comrade Marcus ngendaba yetinkomo leti ntshontshawo eborder lavumisa borders.
emhleli lana kumatima le nkinga eMaswati sikhule sathi thina ukuthi inkomo libhangele eMaswati. Mula khona la beka khona investor uma Jamludi akhicita kuvela lembofu lenkoni siyathi ukuthi nakufika isikhathi ukuthi hey sebantwana baya esikolweni kuthengisa letinkomo uyele but lemigila mkhuba iyangena la kamakhelwane nayifika ingene la ekhaya intshontshe letinkomo itewele lokubuhlungu lesikubonako lamasotsha labekela lapha emnceleni kuthiwa akagadze ayabayekela labantu bawele futhi ngasho ukuthi ayabagalelisa kuthiwe hey hambani majani uyocala kabusha le nkosi yethu lelekhona ayiwavukeli vele lamalungelo bafuyi bafuyi kufuna bona bahlangane babe yinto yinye kwakhiwe emaforamu lesi simaphoyisa emango latawubukela letinto leti ukuthi uma ngabe letinkomo tilokhwanjanezi tintshontsho tiya le kuphuma lutsimba kuthengwa bogazoli kuyewela tiyolandza tibuye la ngoba kwathiwa tinkomo atibrandwa loku brandwa kwakhona sothi bekudlalwa ngalesive seMaswati ngoba tinkomo solo siyebiwa tihambe tiye le lamajala wa lalagadza lamnceleni agadze abantu labawela nensango kuphela ngoba insango i-investment yamSwati umuntu nakatholakala nensango uyashaya lo muntu ahlukubeta ashaya ngoba kuthiwa he is in competition with the king. The king is the only person who has the right to use to trade insango. Lensango lele menda atiwe kulapha kulamavela abodachi kuze kukwakhiwa nanaba bo bushfire ngale nsango lensango lelenda athiwe ibillionaire lo muntu nguye lona lesitifiketi sekwenda njani uhwebelana nalamava sekuleti inkomo leti kufanele ngakucala bona bavikelele interest yalaMaswati ngoba phela yini libhangela laMaswati ufuna emasotsha asukume angene avikele laMaswati but emasotsha ugadwa naba kuthiwa wena lo gazele nsalo wela nensango akashayi labeti inkomo laba abamuke vele leti inkomo laba batolamba babembofana bangatawukhona kwenta ini ngoba phela uma inkomo itawutala kwentiwa njani sibaya siyanzi nawe la ekhaya usaswele uyasenga uyalima ubophele wende lokwanalokho so manje leti inkomo batiyekela babamuca labantu bafike bantshontshe timbuti tonke sibaya sonke kuyothengiselwa lamakula la emakula ngithi ayithanza le timbuti
Goat curry.
So bese sekuyabuya leti nkomo tiyebiwa. Sesithi thina la kulabantu labafuya kuhlanganweni kwakhiwe ini emaqembu. Leta kuthiwa kuthi wo esibayeni sakaNkosi kungene ezibani. Nani sithole kuhlanganweni kuhanjiwe kwendiwe nekushaywa imali kwendiwe njani. Kuyoliswana naleti gilamkhuba letiyenda naleti timfuyo emaswati.
Yeah,
Uma
Mswati.
kungakahlangana
Thank you, comrade Marcus Maswati ngiyativela kude lokwendlula uthi nihlanu because it's like makhosetive uqinzetela insango sawukhuluma kakhulu indaba yensango because sibonile abantu baseSwatini a lot of Swazis have been killed in South Africa trying to do trade kuthengisa insango. Insango is legal, it's used for medication, it's something they say seyivumelekile mhlaba wonke. So Maswati indaba yensango kufanele niyilungise nikhone ku-trader. Makhosetive usensangweni okay shop konke imayini makhosetive has it ugodle konke, and it's your responsibility as a Swazi to fight for those things. You must identify insukume ngoba kukhala ningendi lutho. I don't think it's going to help. We've been crying for a very long time. Comrade Phumzile uyithini lenzaba yetinkomo lale nensango ukhona lokwatiko ngale business yensango ukuthi Maswati emalungelo bangenta njani ukuze bakhona ukuthengisa bayekele lokubanjwa because bayabanjwa eSouth Africa. The police in South Africa are really getting a lot of money through taking lensango benefita one, and I think kulima insango it takes a lot of months, so and they use the mali the Maswati to take the kids to pay Emma fees. So it's a business that Maswati need to benefit from. Comrade Phumzile, what's your opinion on this, if you have one?
Yona le ndaba yensango vele Nkosi yami imatima ngoba kuyabonakala lokuthi nangabe kuthiwa ukuthi khona laba abalimele khona phila keja bakuriski yeku-attack-wa. Ngike ngabona nje kule i-article ukuthi bekuba khona abantu abafika kwebusuku batoyifuna le nsango bathi bamasoja batoyifuna le nsango bayithathe bahambe nayo. Kani noma uhlangana nebantu emgwaqweni uyithwele nakhona uyayirisk impilo yakho, ukurisk bana kukwemuka bakubulale bane konke nje. Angathi lokuthi le risk yayo le nsango ingaze yente kanjani keja lokhu uyoyiceda ukuthi vele emthethweni yenzi the-trick lokhu la ekubeni semthethweni kwayo ingaze ibe semthethweni ngeke le mali lengaka bayende itawushipha itawufana lento nje yonke lesiyithenge esitolo sinkwa ngeke isadula lokuthi idule kulokuthi ayitholakali ingase ya-backdoor into yaku-backdoor iyadula into lesibekwe ngaphambili uzukana nje kuthiwa insango seyisemthethweni bantu batawulima imihalo ibe ngaka ukuthi abade nale makethi noma ingaba khona itawushipha le mali lebayendako nyalo ngayo.
But still, Comrade Phumzile, Maswati need to find a way ukuthi bayithengise ngoba bakhompyutha namSwati bayabulawa. They need the money to pay my fees. They need the money to survive, and it takes time for them to even grow lensango. So Maswati, they need to figure this out ukuthi yini lebangayenda ukuze bakhona ku-trade nalamanye countries and business people, because lensango vele iyadingeka everywhere. Njengoba Comrade Marcus ukuthi in the Dutch countries like the Netherlands, all over the world, and yaseswatini Comrade bathi i-grade yaseswatini
ngathi laba abayilimako bangahlangana bayi-establishe imakethe le-viable leconzene nabo batowathi ukuthi mangilimile ngimikisa kuphi kube yindzawo le-specific ukuthi ngimikisa kuphi kuthenga bobani ema-buyers ami basengayithwali nje lokhu South Africa ubitiwe ukuthi yilethe ngoba uneke uyithwala uthi uyilethe kanti ubitelwa kuyobulawa bayithathe bangakuniki nale mali bakushaye bakushaye basathathe amasaka akho bahambe bathi suka la ma ungabe unenhlahla bathi suka la bakuxoshe ma unebhadi bakubulale bayithatha amasaka bakubulala uhambe useyiphela indaba yakho. So akuzame ukuthi labalimi bayo bazame ukufuna imakethe leti-viable leti tawuvuma noma ngivume ukuthi siyalanza lokungenani siyalanza unless siyalanza.
That's a very good point, Comrade Pumzi. They need to, because there's a lot of money in this. There's a lot of money in it, and Makositi Vele does not want anyone to compete with him. Njengoba asho na Comrade Marcus ukuthi lensango kudala bayigijimise Makositi unjinge because of insango. Nalabanye futhi lesibadiko labanjingile because of insango. So sifuna ukuthi eMaswati akhona lo trader njengoba kahle without ukuthi bababulala, because they killed another guy. There's so many people that they are killing and beating in South Africa just because things are in South Africa. So the market, they need to work on this thing. See, but I'll trade that without having the risk involved. Okay, thank you so much, team.
Yes.
Sanitation. I think it's sanitation water in Swaziland. I think it's a lack of water supply. The laws that restrict people of having access to proper water supply, sanitation. Comrade Marcus, do you want to say something on that one?
Emanti asisekelo sempilo. Emanti ayadzingeka. Mswati uyabhadalwa usupplya iSouth Africa emanti. Lama dams lakhiwe lawa ukubheka ngala kuMathamo le Turkish dam yakhiwe eMabhulu. Kuthiwa siyawabhadala amanti. Sibhadalela kutonisela. Sinema farms siyabhadala. La mandi lekufanele ngasita eMaswati athengiselwa eMabhulu ukuthi atawu irrigator emasimu awo. Mandi bantu banatha emanti langcolile netinkomo netimbongolo. Mandi akufune wakhiwe emademu kutotholakala emanti lahlantekile. Uthi wabatawendani mandi la. Emanti angazandlula etsheni sahlobile. Bantu babanje bokholera, bantu babanje bodise yonke lento yinto ekulicinzetelwa laMaswati. Emabhunu enda njani wona ahlangana ayakuya athi silo sikhulu. Sicela usithengisele emanti. Siyawadzinga emanti ayahamba ayakuphi elwandle. Asikhoni thina wathi hayi ngiyohlupheki. Buyani lakini. Yandani lena ngizayimafika ayarentshwa emanti. Le mali leyo bekufanele ngayisita na eMaswati nayo. Kude onke iSouth Africa ibhadala imali lenhle kurentshwa emanti. Ngoba iSwaziland inema sources emanti. Lesithi caldera. La manti aphuma leduli ehla yofika lapho. Ubambele imbuluzi, usuthu uyayibona. La manti lawo bekufanele ayende njani asite eMaswati. Kubhlungu kakhulu na ufuna kudonsa emanti awufaka ekhaya lakho. Hey, utakukikiswa. Ubutwa lokwa nalokwa, ubutwa nalokwa nalokwa. Kona vele nangabe usepolitikini yeses. Awutayisho ivunule ingalo. Awunikwa la mandi. Mandi ayadzingeka. Etikolweni kuyafuneka kube nemandi. Kuthi into lotayenda. Emandi lamakhaya solo bantu bacinzetekile bede emandi lahlantekile. Kulukhuni emandi. But emandi athengiselwe eMabhulu. Mabhunu ngoba nathi umafama yakhona kubhadala. Uthi uyasithanda sipho sakho nangifuna sibe nemali. Usukuthi wena inkosi lehlobile. Ngowona nalamaganu labe waphisela wona akhiwa ngawo lamanje. Lokuthi wena emaganu ufuna abe yini lisiko. Ayizange ibe lento lemali.
Comrade Marcus, thank you so much.
Nesiko kuhlangana into lotendela wena. Ubita labantu yevele ngeshiya ukuthi wena hey bantu bami bayangithanda. Ubalekele ama-sanctions stakutshela thina ngesibuyela. Ubalekele ama-sanctions. La ubabona ukuthi ayedwa uthi bantu bayakuthanda. Naleti ingayingathi eMaswati siyawakhulumela sibatshelise hey Maswati ningayi lapha kule mintifo leta. Ngoba le nasenda lama report bathi hey bantu bayithanda. Sicale sanitshela Maswati athi ningayi elikhethweni. Ngoba le bathi thina asathi phela thina lo uthi yena nakafika in the presentation tinkundla system into leti kahle uthi ababona batawe elikhethweni nani nilalela lo yamfoka lo niyagijima niyakhona anathi ukuthi seniyasilimata thina sende ba report la sikompile ama report siyawamikisa size niyagcila tini ninifala tinhloko niyakuphi emmemeni ufunani emmemeni ngoba ukuholi lutho uthi uyofela enkosini yini le nkosi lekwentela ayina lutho le nkosi lekwentela yona ifuna ukuthi i-testa lamaphilisi ekufa la kuwo. Iyakucinzetela ikumuca umhlaba, icede lapho iyakuncisha nale mbili kufinye emnothweni. Kudla kuyadura nyana. Mabhontshisi malini. Uma wena ngawuhola gogo kangwane, bekufanele ngawuhola 2,000 noma 3,000 4,000 ufika cambe mangathi bantu ngibanika sothi insanzane ngiholela so kumhlabuhlangene. Bathatha imali bathi gi, ahamba wenda ema-toilet ebukaka. Ama-toilet ebukaka ngegolide. Ngile mali yenu. Nasi siyanitshela sinifuni ukuthi nibona nimisa imiconjwane siyofela enkosini. Nima-ke nje lapho ugibele lolini lapha uyakhona nangu uyagedletela uthi emaganweni.
Ngithe comrade lo make loyo fanele Mswati amthatha abantu umfati wakhe was-20 angazi that's a huge commitment.
Bona abakhethe nabangcumu lapha akhetha athi wawambona umfati osonywa ngcumu mina ngikwathi ngubona ngale nkosi lekhulu ukuthi umshado ufuna nangiza bathi nje hayi isiko lethu uyokha ubhushute ngetibuni ubhushutele lenye indoda yokhetha umfati umsomagcumu.
Thank you. I wanted us to close on that note. Ngifuna ngibuta indaba ye-culture lendlu lokukhuluma ngayo ukuthi le culture lebuganga, i-culture yelisekwane, i-culture yokuthi bantu bayesibayeni. I-culture ne-poverty singakhona yini asesiyibuki na indaba ye-culture ne-poverty ngoba mina ngikubuka kwami I think Comrade Phumzile na Comrade Susan na Comrade Marcus, I just want you guys to think in regard to in line the connection between the poverty and culture, because esibayeni mina I'm under the assumption ukuthi bese eMswati bekaya esibayeni, not only eMswati kuphela, even nebelungu bebaya esibayeni because that's what we had before. Akusi i-culture kuya esibayeni nyalo sinetitadium sinale ICC yakhelwani i-ICC akusiye ukuthi bantu bahlale khona or naloku tutulu bathwale emanti ngetitutulu beside timoto besisebenzise amadonki. Le culture lena yaseSwatini i-culture noma kubuyele emva ngemabomu so that people don't improve njengoba ngisho ngithi mina besisebenzise amadonki kuthwala emanti sisebenzisa tinhloko bekude timoto. eSwatini bababisele emva ngemabomu bathi i-culture ungabi nemoto wena yekuthwala lamanti ungabi phinze nemanti laphuma endlini njengoba sikhuluma. Asesibuke na i-culture. I really would like to hear your opinion and the link between the culture and poverty in Swaziland. I don't know, Comrade Susan, do you? I don't know the culture.
No, uyavagala leader. Okay, my personal view, I have nothing against culture. Our culture should be celebrated, especially when you go to a different country. That's when you realize how important your culture is, right? If I had the Swazi attire in my hair, I would wear it, but I don't have it. So like wearing it on the head, you modify it. There's nothing wrong with culture because that's my identity. I identify as who I am. The problem that we have in Swaziland or Eswatini now is it's a waste of money. For an example, Makanu, this king loves tradition, he loves culture, and there's nothing wrong with it, but not at the expense of the country and of the people. Lots of things happen which are barbaric at some of these events. It promotes. Do you know Swaziland statistically has the highest alcohol rate on the planet? It has the highest AIDS rate on the planet. These alcohol has a lot of stigmas associated with them. One of them is sexual misconduct, indecency, right? So you're promoting this Maganu thing. People should just stay at home, make their own Maganu if that's what they like, have a family event, not this thing of culture, saying you're promoting culture based on alcohol. And he's not even feeding the people when they get there.
That's what I wanted. That's where I wanted us to go. Culturally, do we need Makosativa? Because obviously Makosativa is Tamsus. You understand? Is Makosativa the culture? We need to look into those things. Instead of only bandu, usabame bayona satshwala. Abathwale letigubhu but lethe kuye bayonatha le lamadoda.
Wow.
Okay, Go ahead. I'll interrupt.
No, I think we need to get rid of culture at this time right now. The country cannot afford these Marula festivals. Like absolutely cannot. Put it aside. Just put it aside, get rid of it, let it not be part. People can do this on their own, but I just think it's a waste of money. Swazis don't need this. We don't have the money. It involves a lot of barbaric activities, witchcraft, waste of money, sexual indecency, just all these things. We need to let it go. Just let it go.
Thank you.
Because then we look barbaric to the outside world.
Ngikho ngithi mina ngifuna ukuthi ngibone ukuthi basibisela emuva. I-culture, kune-culture. Kunekubisela abantu emuva. Uthi it's okay to be poor. For instance, nje le example engishilo ukuthi babite eMswati esibayeni bathi culture. Akusi culture esibayeni. Ngoba besiya esibayeni Susan ngoba bekude stadium kude titulo besihlala bebagawula tiginci uhlala esigincini because beside titulo. So you can't tell me ukuthi kuya esibayeni culture or it's another form, it's another kune structure kubisela eMswati emuva angathuthuki nyalo kune AI because una the latest gadget eMswati. But if you go to the schools, the local schools, good free Wi-Fi. How many computers are there? My laptops, my iPad, my Apple. Anyway, thank you, Comrade Susan.
I just want to say this one last thing, leader. You said Sibayeni, they used to sit, basically the structure of Sibayeni used to be different. I watched the last Sibaya where it was supposed to be a dialogue, but it was a monologue. So if you look at Sopuza's, King Sopuza's previous videos of when he was at Sibaya, he sat on the floor with the rest of the Swazis on the grass. He used to walk with no shoes. And this one sits on a golden chair while his subjects sit on the floor. This is not okay.
It's not culture.
That's not culture. That's saying when labantu balaphansi kimi mina I must sit on a gold chair. But eMswati, they way beneath me. Angithi ngiko, angithi wasibita tifukuti. Whatever, if tifukuta. So I'm just sick of it. We don't need a king, period.
Thank you. Comrade Pumzile.
This is
culture poverty.
Actually,
what's the link?
Thank you, Chair. This is not actually culture, it's brainwashing. It's brainwashing. Kutowenza labantu kukahle kanti kude lokukahle. Indzaba yebuganu nje buganu bevele bukhona nakadzeni bogogo bebathi phisela abantu bethe batonatha bathi nathele tshwala buganu bantu amnathe ngendlela lafuna ngayo. Hayi lokuthi sekufanele buganu buthwalwe bumikiswe kuphikwe.
Anyway, we've lost Comrade Pumzile. Comrade Marcus, culture poverty, what's the link? Any link?
Indlela lele ebucinzetela abantu ukubukisisekayo ngoba onke lamave kuya kune-culture anetinkinga anebudlwangudlwangu akanakuthula ngokuthula lokhu bathi inverted commas ngoba nawubukisisa kahle lapha kune-culture ngila khona baloya khona labantu badidwa lemiqondo ukuthi bangathi cabangele bambone yena angumhlekazi. Ulandelisise kahle kuthiwa wena ugane inkosi bashona ulapha so siyingayinga usiyeti sakhe lapho uhlala la kuye la yonke into la isho way right ubuke bonke labantu abathanda i-culture la ngcondweni tabo balukhulu kuthi mthona kunye into labanenzuzo yakhona bayabitwa nje kuthiwa hey buya inkosi nibitile bafike bahlehle buka nalendlela lo ndvunankulu okhethwa ngayo ukufakwe lapha kuthiwa lo muntu lo wenda le corruption lelentiwa ngilo Mswati ungaze wenda i-corruption lapha kangwane umuntu babangela ungasebenzi lapho wena ungaze wende lobugebengu lobugulukuthi kuthiwa hey nguwe ke la amsengetheni nomuntu wenithanza inkosi ubobuka naleli qoqo nakuthiwa lapha eqoqweni lapho ukhethiwe uyeva nje kuyahlekiswa kuthiwa wena wosele eMswati inyanga wayisa kahle ethi akabuyela umuntu abe la iqoqweni uyasebenza letinto letifile sicala ngalokugana kude into leyilethako inzuzo leyilethako bantu bahlawulisa imali ukuthi abafuni ukukhokha titulutulu tiye ebuganweni ehlane bahlawuliswe timali, batshelwe ukuthi batawuqoshwa ngoba abakhoni kwenta njani, abacontributhi ngalutho enkosini. Yini lasendela yona lo muntu kude uyasigcilana sibulale ukuthi nje wena ulela sive wambona mkhulu loya lokho kanjanisa nkosi yami nala Siziba. Washo Siziba wathi le nkosi leli lekhona le inemona inenhlitiyo lembi. Yimbi inhlitiyo yalo mfokati lo. Uphe kugolela abafati kuphela. Konke kwakhe, umhlaba kwakhe, umfati lomhlengi kwakhe. Yini lekhona leveli lemabhizinisi konke kwakhe. Konke letitolo takhe yini lekunyamalanayo lapha kangwa.
Nguye na Shakantu. Nyalo nguye na Shakantu napholile konke kwabo.
Leli belihle kakhulu coordinator lena. Emholi, leli vele kaNgwane belihle kakhulu kungakafiki lo mfokati wangenjani. Wafike wayena umoshile. Tonke tindlu timoshile la.
Yeah.
Kubanjwa abantu bayobaphila ukuthi mina umuntu uyambamba umfake etingwenyeni timhle ngikucale ngayo. Ukuthi umuntu uyadutshulwa abulawa afake acid ngikubone ngayo. Kuthi ungathi usucabangela lesive kuthiwa akafake le poison. Ubala bonke labantu besinabo lapha Mswati babulelwa abacetha. Bathi bamtshela yena letinga uthi uyakupromote akusonzele naso bathi mfakele ipoison. Babambisene nalomntana wakhe lokubulala labantu. Sive sakaNgwane siyacethwa sithi lobugani vele mina ngakwami kube ngimi le ngineletiyala lapho ngabe uyavala leyo nto. Nawe ohlehla lethu incwala ngabe uyavala kude into lekuyendako le nto.
So akusi culture I think thank you comrade.
Yini latakhela yona uhlangana naleti lokuthiwa
exactly ngiko lengifuna ukuthi sikubuke ukuthi ngicela sibuke ukuthi le culture beyendiwa ngoba bekude esitulo bebahlala bekude titulo bekude stadium. That's why besihamba siye kubuye esibayeni. But we have moved forward. It's 2024.
Uyangisa Mholi bekuthi kungabuka ukuthi no kuyabhulwa kuyahlolwa vele angithi ngesinto kuyabhulwa babhule babuke ukuthi hey emathosi nalitula lini ene bantu batawudlala bese kuyalanzwa bekunamnjoli alanzwe mnjoli kuthiwa akabuye atowenda njani kuphehlwe litulu line litulu bantu balini bekubutwa mnjoli ukuthi singalima yini ngebugurukuthu bakadlamini bamsonze etamnjoli la bafuna kubona lendlu ukuthi uhlanganisa tihlahlatini kwakhiwe leli tulo wabuyiswa la wacetha wasanganiswa wabulawa. Wena kanjani bangakubona ukuthi kaNgwane hey lo muntu lo uphiwe unemandla uphiwe uNkulunkulu bamsonzeta kancane uyambona nje Melika bambona ukuthi uMelika unemandla wathiwa kasonzetwe la athatofika la wabulawa ngoba bekakhona lo muntu uhola libandla leJericho bathi inkunzi leti imbili afihlale lana isibayeni akasonzetwe lo muntu abulawa. Bonke labantu labaphiwe
asivaleni comrade siyabonga namhla comrade Sue, comrade Phumzile, comrade Marcus. Thank you so much for taking part and really discussing very very important timo taseswatini. Maswati siyafundzisa siyarebuka sindakonke. Make sure ukuthi lesikhulumile namhla make sure ukuthi you just write and tell us, especially mfuna sibuke kakhulu kade sinesifiswazi movement sifuna ukuthi sikhulume indaba yaShakantu ukuthi who is Shakantu? Wakuphi? Is he using the right name? What is going on? Yena napholile namakhosetive. Why are they grabbing everything that belongs to the Swazi people? So Dimbo sifuna ukuthi comment and make sure you comment. Letinye timo mhlambe nina nginento asitshela sikwenzekani even and you need to stand up Mswati and really fight against the injustices and all the evil that the regime is doing. Both Kanye, so they're actually enjoying right now because sihlulwa yimvo yini ukuthi sihlangane siformationize aba GNU lesolo sikhuluma ngayo nabo comrade Sue nabo comrade Monty nabo President Queen nabo comrade Marcus nabo comrade Phumzile ukuthi we need to form a government of national unity. But no, it's not the right time. It is always the right time. There is no time where it's not the right time to form the government of national unity. Last words, Comrade Susan, and then down to get Comrade Marcus.
I mean, I'm just going to close on some of this, just some thoughts that were coming to me. One of the things that I think Makhosetive does not understand is, do you know why the first world is rich? Because why the first world is rich? You know why they are rich? They're very frugal. They handle their money very well. They don't just spend lavishly and spend billions on this and billions on that and billions on that. Is they make sure that we have a just, fair, equitable government. That's why the first world is rich. You know, Swaziland, with the money that has been spent in Swaziland, just even in the last 2 years, goes to show Wegutsi, there is resources in Swaziland. There is money in Swaziland. In fact, I think everybody in Swaziland, we 1.2 million, the money that has been spent in the last 10, 15 years, everybody in Swaziland should be a millionaire.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Soup. I like
And
that.
that's one of the things that I wanted to say. Sorry, I'm just closing, leader.
No problem.
And I was at an event at a women's, basically, what is it? Black History last
Month.
weekend. Yes, last weekend. And I met a gentleman from Ghana, and he lives here in Canada. And I was telling him where I'm from. And he said, and I said to me, I'm from Swaziland. He says, oh my goodness. He says, your king is absolutely useless. You guys need to get rid of that man. Hey. So
Wow.
niyabona ukuthi Mswati, it's not just us. The world and international community are seeing ukuthi this man is absolutely useless. So that's all I just want to close with, Mswati Lamate. I would ask that you share, you like, and you subscribe, and please share. We need to get this out because media is extremely powerful. So we need this word out to everybody you know. Thank you so much for watching. Amanda.
Amanda, thank you, Comrade Soup, our Madam Speaker for the Free Swaziland Movement. Comrade Marcus, Chair for Free Swaziland Movement. Last words.
Ngiyabonga Mhleli. Tinkantolo tibanjwe ngabhongwane. Kude indvo longayisumela lapha etinkantolo tibanjwe ngabhongwane. Temcebo utitsethe Mswati tibambe tisetandleni takhe. Nyalo sikhuluma lapha kadvokolwako. Imayini yavula. Usuyabuka kude Mswati lelitakutfola lapha. Nguye na Shakantu nalabantu labatawukumbalela lapha le diamond. Uzuza bona. Sesiyabuya imfundo uyibambe ngabhongwane. Kude udimanda nyalo wakha le ICC. Hayi ukuthi lento le idura kakhulu yindlela yokuthatha le mali yalamaswati ende ngayo lapha. Ngo nje laba bathi sine simane ngwenyana ngoba kufuna kuphumele imali. Dala maswati leto mjuluko lamaswati uyadliwa. Yindlela yokudrainwa kulesi sikhwama lesa. Nangakutshela ukuthi emhleli si owasikweleta imali engakanani ngamangala. Yiningi le mali ikweletwa ngumswati. La ngakhona ukuyibhadala naye usayele ukuthi angayibhadala athini ngoba sebakude imali ephuma yiningi kakhulu kunalengena lo muntu uinvesta poorly noma bathi bambonisa bathi yewena lento lena investment useless kwendela njengaloko ICC nawathi yambuda kwande akade wakhathi stadium nase sikhuphu sekhile ubulela inangizanyana emathapha le lapha kumathapha leya ikude into le lazuza yona just nje ukudlalwa ngale mali yemaswati. Ngigcina ngalo ngithi ngiyacela amadoda lamasha asenisukumele le ndvodza le uhlangane nekhishwe lapha esihlangene kude lokutawuza sesala vele into esifundi sakhe lapha abulala sive enda lokwanalowo atimosha baloyenda konke kude into le yawuphumelela kufuna thina sihlanganene sakhe i-government of national unity akhishwe lo yababe impela tithukuthuku nitatitfola niyawuphila kamnanzi live ngebantu balo hayi ngenkosi yabo loya muntu loya sowuhleli kakhulu uvakashile lesa sihlalo kufuna salasuswa asamfuni nje indzaba yakhe ayiphele nje kukhohlwe ngaye uye sitakhele hulumende wethu lotawuthi noma ubona ukuthi Mthetho uyangilahla akhweshe Mthetho nangabe ukhwabanisa imali athathwa beke eceleni Mthetho ungene abantu abatawudelela hayi le ndlela yendaba uyakaphikiswa kugcina yena lo watiwa uma kwakhe bobabili babambisene sekubana nani zeze lakhe lela lalalitalisile losikhanyisa ngilo leli dictator ukuthi kuphile kanje ubulawe lamaswati amanga
wakhuluma Nyambose. Thank you, Chair. That, I mean, you nailed it. Maswati, I hope unyalalela Maswati namahle. Comrade Phumzile, last words before Sibale, leader.
Hey, bese ngilahlekile
Welcome
angisazi.
back.
I just got lost. Yeah.
ungathi nje sivalelisa eMswatini, what can you utene solution yensango kuthi I think ingaba mnandi ukuthi nje uvalelise ngaloko ukuthi yini labangayenza ukuze batokhona bayele lokubulawa nalokuthi Mswati aphele kulwa nabo mayelana nebanga emabhizinisi.
Yeah, indaba yensango eMswati ifuneka vele ukuthi siyicophelele ukuthi singathi bangafaki impilo zabo eku-risk ngendaba yokuthi fanele bayihambise. Asebafuna indlela yokuthi ayilandwe sekunethi ihanjiswe, ngoba lokuyihambisa awathi lela uyakhona ukuthi uyakuphi, utawufike ungene kuphi, awathi nalokuthi utawuhlangana nani, kanti na uhleli ndzawonye kungcono bete abantu batothenga lekakho. Lokunye vele lokulegalizwa, mina ngiye ngithi abantu they have to understand ukuthi mzukwane iba legal itawushipha, ngeke uphinde idule. So loko kufanele bakuweye, they have to weigh that ukuthi ngikuphi lokungekho. I-value yayo itawehla kakhulu, itawufana nekuthenga sinkwa nashukela esitolo ngoba phela seyi-legal, nekuthenga sikiliti ngeke ibe nayo le value. So akubukeka le ndlela ekuthengisa kwanyalo ngoba vele kulegalize into lethatha isikhathi leside. Akubukwe le ndlela le bakuyo nyalo, kule situation le bakuyo nyalo ukuthi yebo bazama ukudiphilisa, badiphilisa ngayo kanjani abafaki impilo zabo ku-risk. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you, Comrade Phumzile, siyabonga. Team, did you know, do you know Lindaba sesikhuphela khulume ngayo Comrade Marcus? Makhosetive is the only customer lapha. No wonder. Did you see Bambato yabahola 1,500 lapha le airport? The only itawubuya phi vele imali ngihamba makhosetive kuphela bava bakhe once a while. Imali vele because good bangaki laba afford ticket eSwatini.
Sikhuphe sakhelwa ukuthi utawuthatha le nhlango yaMswati inikiswe emaveni. Ansi yakhe yagitsheliswa ihambe kahle. Bayihlala phasi kusaphila Barnabas. Kwathiwa kufuna kube ngithi thina kuphela lesikhona kwenda njani ukuthengisa insango emaveni. Sinalo leligunya. Konke lokho lemisekenye lezizamako le ayisoqonge ngoba ifuna kusikhipha emaketheni. Kunetinkampani bayinkampani bathatha le nsango bayimikise emaveni. Bathe mangisi sesizine ukuthi nishushumbe sesifuna kuyotibonela ukuthi ibhenywa njani le-first grade lena kwakhiwa nayo i-bushfire la khona ufika esitulu sithenga ngabo 2 million isitulu sithombe saMswati sithengiswe ngemali ekudura. Bathi imali thina sitakunika sitawuta thina sifuna ukubhema le nsango ito khona ukuthi nayo isishaya la sive kahle.